Pablo Carreño Busta was born on July 12, 1991, in Gijón, a coastal city in the region of Asturias in northern Spain. Raised in a sporting family, Carreño Busta was introduced to tennis at an early age by his parents. His father, José Carreño, was a former tennis coach, and his mother, Isabel Busta, encouraged him to pursue sports from a young age. His early exposure to the sport laid the foundation for what would become a long and successful tennis career. Carreño Busta began playing tennis as a child, showing great promise in his junior years. His early training took place at local tennis clubs in Gijón, where he honed his skills and developed the characteristic consistency and reliability that would become hallmarks of his professional career. As a junior, Carreño Busta's game was marked by his disciplined baseline play, solid ground strokes, and strong work ethic, all of which would serve him well in his transition to the ATP Tour. By the time he was 16, Carreño Busta began to make a name for himself in junior tournaments, rising through the ranks in Spain and Europe. His focus on improving his technique and fitness led to his success in national tournaments, and in 2009, he made his Grand Slam debut at the French Open as a junior, where he began to establish himself as a player to watch. Transition to the ATP Tour. Building a foundation. Carreño Busta turned professional in 2009, but it wasn't an overnight transition to the ATP Tour. Like many aspiring tennis players, he spent several years in the lower tiers of professional tennis, competing in the ATP Challenger Tour and ITF Futures events. His breakthrough came in 2013 when he began to gain recognition on the ATP Challenger circuit. His aggressive style and solid ground strokes were well suited for the transition to the ATP Tour, and in 2013, he won his first Challenger title in Segovia, a victory that helped him build confidence and gain momentum. Carreño Busta continued to improve over the next couple of years, working with various coaches to refine his game. His commitment to developing his mental toughness, combined with a disciplined approach to his physical training, allowed him to steadily rise through the ATP rankings. By 2015, he broke into the top 100, a major milestone that solidified his position as one of Spain's promising young talents. During his early years on tour, Carreño Busta focused on improving his serve and developing a more aggressive game, which allowed him to compete effectively at the highest level. His athleticism and adaptability on different surfaces made him a versatile player capable of competing on hard courts, clay, and grass. The consistency of his ground strokes and his ability to stay in rallies made him a difficult opponent for even the most established players on the ATP circuit. Career peak. Rising to the top. Carreño Busta's breakthrough year came in 2016, when he captured his first ATP title at the Clermont-Ferrand tournament in France. This victory was a turning point for him, as it marked the beginning of a more successful phase of his career. The win at the ATP 250 event helped him break into the top 40 for the first time in his career, and his rise continued steadily in the following years. 2017 proved to be a breakthrough year for Carreño Busta on the Grand Slam circuit. At the US Open, he reached the semifinals, a career-defining achievement that pushed him into the international spotlight. His performance at the US Open, where he defeated top players like Andy Murray and Albert Ramos Vinolas, established him as one of the tour's most consistent and reliable players. His composure and mental fortitude in long, grueling rallies earned him respect among his peers, and his ability to stay focused on the court made him a tough competitor in any match. In addition to his Grand Slam success, Carreño Busta also made an impact at the ATP Masters 1000 events, with his best result being a semi-final appearance at the Monte Carlo Masters in 2017. His ability to compete against the best in the world earned him a reputation as one of the top clay court players on the ATP Tour. His consistent results on the clay courts, along with his success on hard courts, made him a well-rounded player capable of competing in all conditions. Over the next few years, Carreño Busta continued to refine his game and build on his momentum. His steady performances in ATP tournaments, including victories at Chengdu, 2016, and Estoril, 2017, further cemented his place in the ATP top 20. His high ranking and consistent performances on all surfaces helped him become a regular fixture in the second week of major tournaments. Main achievements, Grand Slam success and ATP titles. Pablo Carreño Busta's career peak is marked by several key achievements that solidified his status as one of Spain's top tennis players. In 2020, Carreño Busta reached his career-high ATP singles ranking of number 10, after a series of strong performances in ATP events. His continued success on the ATP Tour earned him recognition as one of the most consistent players of his generation. Carreño Busta's best Grand Slam result came in 2020 when he reached the US Open semi-finals once again. His stunning victory over Stanislas Wawrinka in the quarter-finals propelled him into the Final Four of a Grand Slam for the first time in his career, though he ultimately fell to Alexander Zverev in the semi-finals. Carreño Busta's achievement in reaching the latter stages of a major tournament cemented his reputation as one of the most reliable players on tour. In doubles, Carreño Busta has also enjoyed success, particularly in Davis Cup competition. Alongside his compatriots, he helped Spain secure the Davis Cup title in 2019, an achievement that remains one of the highlights of his career. Carreño Busta's versatility in both singles and doubles play allowed him to be an important part of Spain's successful Davis Cup campaigns over the years. Over the years, Carreño Busta's game matured, with his mental strength and consistency in rallies becoming a trademark of his style. While he may not have reached the same level of success as some of his Spanish contemporaries, such as Rafael Nadal, his ability to perform in high-pressure situations has earned him respect as a player who can compete with the very best. Challenges and injuries. Overcoming adversity. Like many professional athletes, Carreño Busta's career has been marred by injuries. Despite his early success, injuries have often hindered his progress, forcing him to miss key tournaments and take time off from competition. In particular, a series of wrist injuries in 2018 and 2019 affected his ability to compete at his best. These setbacks, however, didn't deter Carreño Busta. His resilience and determination allowed him to recover and continue competing at the highest level. Carreño Busta has had to overcome challenges in both his singles and doubles careers, with injuries sometimes forcing him to withdraw from events or limit his participation in certain tournaments. However, through consistent rehab and a strong work ethic, he managed to stay competitive and continue to play at a high level despite these obstacles. Final years and legacy, a model of consistency. As of 2023, Pablo Carreño Busta remains a highly respected player on the ATP Tour. Though he may not have captured a Grand Slam singles title, his career achievements reflect his determination, consistency, and ability to compete at the highest levels of the sport. As a stalwart of Spanish tennis, Carreño Busta has proven himself time and time again to be a reliable performer, both in singles and in team events like the Davis Cup. His legacy will likely be defined by his consistency, resilience, and his role in Spain's strong tennis tradition. As a player who has spent much of his career in the ATP Top 20, Carreño Busta's reliability on all surfaces and his ability to battle through difficult matches have earned him a lasting place in tennis history. While the future remains uncertain in terms of his ultimate career achievements, Pablo Carreño Busta's impact on the sport is undeniable. His career is a testament to the power of consistency and hard work, and his status as one of Spain's best tennis players of his generation will be remembered for years to come.